Glengarry. So as you can see, we are busy. It's now November. We are busy in a sugar beet field, and we're trying out this sugar beet equipment because this sugar beet equipment would be very affordable to us. We have to stop because a couple of things have changed. Yes, people, we've bought a new tractor. Now I did record. So before I got here, at the beginning of the day, at 8 o'clock, I did record, and for whatever reason, even though the mic was turned on, it didn't record any sound. And after I record a little bit, I go off, just make sure that the microphone's working as it should be, and then once I'm satisfied everything's good, I then carry on recording. But the sound didn't record, so I've had to basically start again. So as you can see, we'd already had a bit of a trailer full, but I'd showed us buying this tractor, but obviously because it didn't record I had to get rid of it, but I'd already moved this far forward, so I've bought a few new things. Now, one thing was forced upon me because of, so I've put another mod in that will become apparent a little bit later on in the series, but then that conflicted terribly with the seed drill that I had, so I've had to get rid of the seed drill. Now I've bought a seed drill that A was quite cheap because we didn't really have the money for one, so it was quite cheap, but B is a bit different. You know, you don't see it that very often on sort of YouTube series, so I thought I'd go with it. But it was £60,000. Now we got all of our money from selling the lime that we've been collecting from the fields of cultivating and ploughing. So I've been collecting all the stones up and then put it into our stone machine, and as I say, then what I did was, once that machine was full and it's taken like nearly the whole summer to fill it, I then put it on to I activated it and then put it on to selling, and it got us nearly £300,000. So I bought this tractor. Yes, the sugar beet equipment is hired, but I just basically want to make sure that everything works okay before I purchase it. But if we get more sugar beet contracts in, we haven't had many this year, but if we get more in, then I think I will be going with this sugar beet equipment, just because I think it suits this map quite well. The hired helper, he's not actually cutting it all that well, to be fair, so I think next time one lesson to be learned is that we're going to need to do the headlands ourselves, and then just let him do the up and down bit and do it on course play, so that this doesn't happen, because it's the same both ends of the field. But there you go. There's not much I can do about it now. So what we'll do is we'll let him get all the way across the field, and then when he's finished we'll just go back and tidy the headlands up, and then we'll use that and tidy the headlands up. The other thing is, auto drive doesn't work with this sugar beet harvester, so he's on follow me, and then once he's full, which he is now, we'll take him off follow me, we'll put him onto auto drive, and he'll go and empty for us. So we'll do that now. You wouldn't turn across. That's very naughty of me, I do apologise. I won't do that again. It was one of those where I did it before I realised what I was doing. So we'll do that, and then he'll go off and empty. What he should do. And then we'll go over here and get him. Now we'll have to reset him up as well. On follow me, so bear with me on that one, because as I say, we need to just set him up so that then, because once you've set them up, obviously the tracking distance, if you like, stays the same then, so we should be okay. But so if we put him here, right, and we might be able to change these ourselves, right, and then this. Right, we'll see how that goes, but I just basically need him to unload. That's not too bad because we can just spread that out. Right, we've now got a, right, okay, so he's now too far away. Got to try and measure it so that his tractor goes. Right, so the first thing is we need to do that. Try and set him up so that he straddles the breed, so that he doesn't squash the beat down. But yeah, so that's basically what's kind of changed at the moment on the actual game. I mean, the thing is that we all know we're going to be sat waiting a long time for tractors and trailers and things. Just because I don't have enough tractors or trailers for that matter to be able to keep up with the demand. So unfortunately, we are gonna, as I say, we are gonna run out of tractors and trailers where we're gonna have to wait for them. But as I say, there's not a great deal I can do about that at the moment. Now, hopefully we can get far enough down. Alright, we need to put him out one more. There we go. As I say, there's nothing much I can do about the tractor and trailer situation. No, that's too far. It's too much. So we're going to have to just wobble him on to, although having said that, I'm not bang in the centre, so I think it was more a case of I was wrong rather than he was wrong, but it'll do. Right, still suffering a little bit from the old sore throat and the cold and stuff, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over now to some time lapse. I might hire another tractor and trailer. Even that I don't think he's going to get around, to be fair, because he's just reached the tip point now, so I don't know. Ideally we would need 2 more tractors and trailers, I think. I think that would be what we would need. So there's something else that we've just learned, that at the moment we don't really have the equipment to do the sugar beet. The only way that we would get around it is if we had a self-propelled one. Excuse me, we had a self-propelled one, and then we could have all of our tractors on tractors and trailers, and we might be able to keep up then. So just out of interest, how many millions are we short of having our own sugar beet harvester? 400. I was about to say 325. That was dreaming. 375. So, like I say, we don't really do enough sugar beet contracting to just, because I was going to say, well, we could take a loan out and just pay the loan back, but we don't really have enough sugar. We don't do enough sugar beet contracting to warrant taking out such a huge load on on machinery that we're going to use like 2-3 times a year. Do you know what I mean? We could hire it, but the problem with hiring it is that the hiring is going to cost us more than we'll get for doing the jobs. I mean, if we look at that, so that's the cheapest one, so we'd have GPS on it, obviously. So yeah, you're looking at 19 grand to hire that. So we then you need the header. So we would need 3 or 4, maybe even getting on towards 10 contracts before that starts to become sort of profitable and viable. So yeah, not gone well, but you know, as I've always said before, you know, I like to put these things into videos because then you guys can kind of see that, you know, and it helps you maybe a little bit in your games. So as I say, I'm going to switch over to a little bit of contracting. No, I'm doing that. I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapsing, and as I say, I've got to play some music for you guys because my voice is about to give up again. So I will speak to you hopefully at the end of the video if my voice hasn't given in. See you in a bit. So I'm back. Well, that's been a very interesting episode, I think, in the sense that we've learned a lot of lessons about this sugar beet harvesting technique, if you will, or the way that we do it. We've learned that crashes into the harvester are probably very common. We've also learned that we're probably better off topping all of the sugar beet ourselves and then just coming in and doing sort of the harvesting, and then we've got all of our tractors available then for carting, and just the one tractor that we need for the actual sugar beet harvesting. But it's an interesting way of doing it. Whether it's a sort of immersive, realistic way of doing it, I don't know. I think with multiplayer, I would say this works absolutely perfect. But without multiplayer, I don't think it works maybe all that well. So is it something that we're going to be using again? Not sure. Just because the crashes do, make it look a little bit silly. But I've left it all in because, for anyone that kind of wants to use this or whatever, it kind of shows you what you can expect from the actual mod. The mods themselves are fine. There's no errors. There's nothing in them. The mods themselves are fine. But I think if you're going to use this mod, the sugar beet mod, then I would probably do it with multiplayer, because then the tractors won't crash into the harvester. And I would also make sure as well that you've got trailers that are significantly bigger than these ones, because as you've seen, hang on, we might not be able to do that because I didn't do that. It's not long before it feels. I mean, they're only 11,000 litres, I think, or just over 11,000 litres. So, they're not very big trailers. Hence the reason why I bought the one that I did. We've got the tractor to deal with it, or the tractors to deal with it. The John Deere that you can see now, I think that will stay. I think the Renault's going. It's the lowest horsepower of the two, of the three, well, four now, because we've got another big one now. But so it's the lowest horsepower of them all. I wouldn't mind, in all fairness, because I mean, you must have seen because I recorded it, but I did have a little look at what we might be able to get for our money. And I mean, something like that isn't too bad. Something like that's not too bad. But I like the speed aspect with that. With those two, but this one in particular, I mean, we can make it 225 horsepower. Decent tires. We could put some GPS on it. For 182,000, it's a nice tractor. And I think it would suit us very nicely. But as I say, you go along, there's lots of obviously tractors in the end that we could choose. I mean, I'm not even sort of too adverse to that one. 37 miles per hour, 247 horsepower. It's not bad. Same with the fast track, and obviously you've got the speed as well, the same as that one. So there are things around it. There are things that we can sort of look at and go with or whatever. But it's probably going to be for another episode, to be fair. But they're the sort. I mean, that's not even too bad actually for a 7 Series vent. That's not too bad at all. The John Deere, yeah, you see. So I mean, as I say, there are options available to us, but it would just be interesting to kind of see what we do, or not what we do end up with, because it won't just be a case of ending up with a tractor. It will be a case of picking a tractor that's going to be a fantastic all-round tractor for us. So as I say, it's going to be a well chosen tractor. The other thing to remember as well is obviously I haven't got a great deal of money at the moment, so that also means and influences sort of the way we're gonna potentially go with it. So things to think about, I think, in terms of another tractor. I would like to improve the tractors, and I would like to improve the trailers. Now the good thing about these trailers is that we could buy the silage sides for them, and then we could make them into silage trailers as well. So these trailers are sort of giving us, they've got much higher capacity, so they're over double the size of the two blue ones that we're using. So for every one trailer, every one full trailer of this trailer is equal to 2 full trailers of the blue trailers. So it gives us a much sort of better flexibility in terms of we will be able to put obviously a great deal more in them, and we won't need as many to cover the same amount of ground, which is really, really good. And if we can start to get these trailers and maybe start looking towards 30 plus mile an hour tractors, then we can get to and from the fields, because we're sort of the furthest away from the sell point in this field. I mean, if we was in a field much nearer, it probably wouldn't matter nowhere near as much, but obviously I can't, there's not always going to be fields right near the sell points that are going to need doing. Sometimes we are going to have to come to the other end of the map. So we're I'm looking to kind of, okay, so now I need to maximise the amount I can do in a day, and the only way you can do that is to start looking at your machinery and sort of saying, well, okay, which one of these pieces of machinery are not really very efficient, a very efficient way of doing things. And as I say, I've come to the conclusion that the trailers aren't, the Renault isn't, and the silage trailers aren't. Now these trailers, if we were to get another 3 of these trailers and have the options of adding the silage sides to them, that makes these trailers very efficient, because as I say, sort of 2 to 4 trailers is probably the equivalent to 6 to 8 trailers of the other ones. And if we can get some slightly quicker tractors to put on the front of these trailers, then we're winning even more. So things to think about. But as I say, hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. I would just like to say, I forgot in the last episode that I recorded that there's a new target now for this month. So between now and the 1st of September, I'm hoping for a minimum of 475 subscribers. The amount of work and effort that you guys put into subscribing to my channel is really something, and I'm sort of very grateful for it and very appreciative. But there are many of you watching these episodes that think you're subscribed, and you're probably not. So if you could just have a look, and if that is the case, just as I say, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and share the videos wherever you want to share them. Then that would be magnificent, because as I say, I'm hoping to get to 500 by the 1st of October. So I'm hoping to get to 500 by the 1st of October, and that would be absolutely fantastic. So thanks very much. But all that's left for me to say is thanks ever so much for joining me on this episode. I've really enjoyed having your company, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.